Another day, another 20-year high in mortgage rates. And so it goes. Hey, I'm Bill Gross, the LA Probate expert. This is my weekly real estate market update. And yet again, mortgage rates last week ended on the highest rate they've been in 20 years, since 2002. I've been in the business since 1986. I remember when rates were 9, 10s and higher. This is the highest it's been for the last 20 years. What's interesting is really has had no real dramatic effect on the market activity, the buyers and sellers activity on the micro level, though continuing the news, I believe, is exaggerating the effect in an attempt to scare you or to get you to buy the advertising. Let's take a look at the actual data behind it. First, the actual rates. You can see here the real rate as of Friday was 7.37%. Now, the news will report the MBA survey where they survey Mortgage Bankers Association members of what they got the prior week, or the Freddie Mac rate, which is the rates Freddie Mac lenders had the prior week. Those are 1 to 2 week old numbers. And as you can see, they just trail up till they hit the real market. This is what I call the spot price, or what you would actually get if you were buying a mortgage on the secondary market today, 7.37. So we crossed 7 a while ago. We've been there for a couple of weeks. And that number isn't magical. It didn't create any particular artificial panic in the marketplace. Now, what is interesting is when you look at the news still for the most part hasn't yet acknowledged that the rates have gone over 7. For example, I did a Google search here, mortgage rates 7%. And the results that I got were, let's see here, CNN, mortgage rates rise again, creeping closer to 7%. Now, this is the truth. Mortgage rates have been over 7 for a while. This is from Mortgage Market Daily. But look at the other major, what I call major news sources, NPR, with mortgage rates near 7%. Yahoo Money, mortgage rates reach 20-year high, close in on 7%. CNN again, mortgage rates hit 20-year high at 6.92%. All the news is still reporting below 6.9, perhaps saving the headlines of 7% as yet another scare tactic. But as you can see, for the most part, the news is not reporting the rates as actually over 7%. I don't really understand why they're both inaccurately low, and yet we know the numbers go higher. Now, what effect is it having on the market? Well, let's take a look at the actual data of sales. What is true is the rise in mortgage rates has slowed down sales activity, and slowed it significantly. If you take a look at the next graph, which is going to show us on existing home sales, now this is somewhat exaggerated because the scale here is not down to 0. It's to 3 million to about 7.5 million. So it's exaggerated. But you can see that the current rate of resale sales at about 4.7 million is well below anything since 2012 or 2013 other than short dips. Well below the pandemic highs of 6.7 and 6.4 million. So there has been a significant drop in the number of resale homes sold. That doesn't mean prices are going down. That means the number of sales of homes has gone down significantly. Now at the same time though, while sales activity has gone down by 30% or so, we know the prices have gone up by more than that, by about 40%. So the overall sales in the real estate industry has actually stayed the same or gone up a bit in terms of the commissions, the dollars, the transaction value, the tax revenue to the states and localities. So housing has not been the drag in the economy. Housing has been dragged down by the economy, unlike 2008, 2009. So that's really where we are in terms of resale. Then if you look at new construction, we can see that new construction continues to increase. Even though there are builders who are caught in certain pockets with too many homes, overall, the number of new homes being built has gone up steadily, and this year over last year, about 6%. So we have an extra 60,000 more homes built, completed this year than last year, and that's expected to continue for the next 3 or 4 years despite the rates. So overall, the number of homes is down, but the dollar value of the homes being sold is higher, larger houses, higher quality homes. Overall, the housing market would appear to be, by any standards, fairly healthy. But that's not what the news is reporting. What do I mean by that? Well, I feel like the news are just waiting for something bad to happen in the marketplace. For example, CNN. Home prices finally falling as in currently, but how low will they go? Now, that's a pretty scary headline, right? They're finally falling, as if to say what? We've been wrongly projecting they'd fall for a year, and now they finally are, right? That's really what they're saying in the finally word. Falling is not true when you read their article. They're projecting them to fall. What do I mean by that? Well, you read the article, and there's all kinds of scary reasons why the market is going to go down, but the basis of this is on two projections. Economists at Goldman Sachs expect home prices to decline 5% to 10% from the peak in June. And Wells Fargo projects prices to drop 5.5% over the next 12 months. No evidence the prices are falling overall now. Their projections from these two companies, out of all the banks and all the investment companies in the world, these two are projecting they're going to go down, and that is what, therefore, CNN is writing this article on gleefully. But when you read the information, I don't think really that at all matches the headline, which said they're falling. How low will they go? So again, I feel like this is another case of the banks and financial institutions giving you false information. And the way I equate this is like going to Las Vegas. I don't know if you ever have been to Vegas, but if you go in the bookstore or the little treat store or where they sell snacks and water and sundry items, they sell books on how to beat the casino in the casino, on how to beat them at blackjack, how to beat them at craps, how to beat them at the roulette. And you've got to and actually in the hotel room on the video, there's videos on how to beat the house playing those various games. And you think, well, why would the casino, sell a book on how to beat them? The answer is because they know that doesn't really work. And so I feel like Wells Fargo and Goldman Sachs, these are investment companies who invest in housing stock, invest in houses, invest in mortgages. Might they be biased in their projections telling you to buy when you should sell and you should sell perhaps when you should buy? And of course the answer is yes. They've been doing it all along. So for example, do you remember when the real estate companies were saying that printing money would not cause inflation? In fact, I lost this article. I have it here on my other screen. Let me see if I can pull this up real fast. But I lost it. I'm sorry. But there was an article on CNN, why printing trillions of dollars may not cause inflation. That was from CNBC, July 21st, 2020. So these are the same people telling us it wouldn't cause inflation. Now we have inflation. Now they're saying, well, housing prices are going to go down. But meanwhile, they're selling mortgages. They're investing in housing. Again, to me, these companies are no different than casinos are in trying to get you to gamble at their casino where they know the rules. So at the end of the day, what should you do? And as I always say, if it makes sense for you to buy a house, if you can afford it, but you also want to use the right mortgage tool to lower your rate where you can. Maybe it's a temporary buy down. Maybe it's a long-term buy down. But if you can afford the house and you want to live in that area, live in that house, buy the house if it makes good financial sense. If you want to sell a house, maybe to move out of the area, to downsize, to upsize, whatever your case might be, and it makes economic sense to sell the property, sell the property. Trying to guess the future is never a winning strategy. And believe me, just like the casinos, the house has all the advantages. Your only advantage is what's best for you. So if I can help you figure out what that is, give me a call, text me, email me. As always, I'm here to help you. Bill Gross, the LA Probate Expert. And as always, make today your best day ever. Thanks.